I make that two primary challenges to Donald Trump, and it could spell trouble for him, believe it or not. Former GOP Governor Bill Weld is already running. Now former Congressman Joe Walsh is jumping in. Yes, you heard that correctly. That Joe Walsh, the birther Joe Walsh, who claimed Obama was a Muslim Joe Walsh. He's apologizing for those views and slamming Trump.
I'm running against a guy who lies every time he opens his mouth. He's a narcissist like we've never seen. He's a sexual predator. All he cares about is himself. He's cruel. He wakes up every morning and sends a tweet out insulting average Americans. I mean, this is above the issues, and it's above me. He's unfit.
And it could still get more. Republican Mark Sanford is also considering a challenge. And here's the problem for Trump. Even if he still wins the nomination, which he is likely to do, NBC's First Read points out, every modern president who's received a credible or even semi-credible primary challenge, Ford, Carter, Bush 41, has gone on to lose re-election. Back with me is former RNC chairman Michael Steele. Michael, good to have you with us. Let me play you just a quick mashup of some of the other Republicans, including Justin Amash, Scaramucci, and Joe Walsh. Watch this.
Okay. So there are lots of Republicans out there who are saying these things privately, but they're not saying it publicly. And I think that's a problem for our country.
The guy's unstable. Everyone inside knows it. Everyone outside knows it.
I'll tell you what, George, everybody believes in the Republican Party. Everybody believes that he's unfit.
Michael Steele, you're plugged into the RNC or the Republican Party at large. What do you make of that assessment from some of your colleagues?
Well, I think the keynote or takeaway from that soundbite is the fact that what these gentlemen are saying is something that all of us hear every day in some form or another. So now to have folks sort of come out and begin to put a light on some of that is revealing. And what it reveals is a couple of things. One, self-interest for some people who may be trying to position themselves for other things. But it also, I think, shows some cracks within the party itself. The numbers have begun to soften a little bit. Yes, the hard base, don't get it too construed the wrong way. The hard base is still there, but that's not the entire Republican Party. And you had a lot of Republicans, particularly Republican women, who supported this president in the last election, who've now softened. And the problem that we have with the female vote, the women's vote, the problem that we have with other minority constituencies, which the RNC is now, doubling down on the effort to reach out and sort of bring those voters back. It speaks to that softening that's there. And so, yeah, these gentlemen have decided to break loose. We'll see where it goes. But I think the broader point is, do you want to be president? Or is your effort really to undermine and keep Trump from winning re-election?
All right, so from your sources and from the power players in D.C. and the lobbyists and everyone that you're plugged in with, are these challenges a troubling sign for the Trump campaign, or is it just about seeing President Trump get punched a little bit from members of his own party?
No, it's a troubling sign. They don't like it. I mean, folks may sort of, slough it off and say it's not a big deal, but they don't like it. There's a reason why last year that the Trump campaign pulled the RNC, the Republican National Committee, into its orbit, making it literally an arm of the campaign, not a standalone entity, which is going to be a problem, quite honestly, because these candidates, as they announce and start their campaigns, they're going to look to that RNC for the same resources and information they're providing to Donald Trump, who is no different once he's formally declared his re-election bid, no different than any other candidate running for the seat. Yes, he's the incumbent, but he's still a candidate. And so that's going to create some real interesting tension points down the stretch, particularly if any of these campaigns, if Sanford gets in and with Weld there and now Joe, that combination creates enough energy around the idea of a primary that even Republicans have, who always, like to brag, we like to have the challenge in the primary, suddenly have to say, yeah, well, maybe this could be a bit more of a problem than they want.
So let me get your thoughts on this, because there's two potential ideological competitors to Trump. You got the Mark Sanford, who's like, I want to kind of run on the deficit, the budget, the economy, and you got the ideological guy like Joe Walsh, who went out there today or over the past couple of days, accusing the president of his character, calling him a sexual predator, a liar, a thief, all those things. If the economy worsens, which one are you likely to see have a better success after going after the president?
I think that's advantage Sanford. I mean, because he's been a consistent fiscal conservative on these issues. He's been principled in his arguments about the spending during the Bush years, the spending during the Obama years, the spending now during the Trump years. So I think as the economy begins to take some additional hits that weaken it due to trade wars and everything else, yeah, Sanford's going to be in the better position to make the case on a consistent basis why Republicans need to rethink their current support, because that, he will say, is not conservative, nor is it Republican.
All right, Michael Steele, always a pleasure, my friend.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.